funded in part by Exxon?
Irony, but why do you imagine that Exxon give you money?
The fossil fuel industries have an enormous amount of clout. The Koch brothers, for example, gave millions and millions of dollars to the Republican efforts to not do anything to fight climate change.
The impact that global warming is going to have on the economy, on our lives, on our freedoms.
Who benefits from this legislation? Koch Industries would be one of the big winners.
That's from Greedy Lying Bastards, a documentary produced by directed by Craig Roseborough and produced by Daryl Hannah, actress Daryl Hannah. And it really talks about the Koch brothers, influence on American politics. Of course, their influence can be felt, but they didn't win. Their guy did not get the White House this time. President Obama, of course, won, and I'm sure deflated them. They weren't happy, but they keep on coming. In an editorial in their newsletter, this is Charles Koch's newsletter. I don't know how you get a newsletter, but if you're Charles Koch, but his newsletter is called Discovery. It says November's election results are part of a trend that, if not reversed, will destroy the American dream, which is curious because he seems to be living the American dream and President Obama is in the White House. As a matter of fact, there's such great irony here. When you look at the amount of wealth the Koch brothers have, in 2009, when Barack Obama took office, they were worth $28 billion. So then the American dream gets destroyed, just totally lambasted. And now they're worth $64 billion. There goes the American dream. It's an amazing, tragic story of wealth being earned in duplicate. I hate to hear things like that. To talk to me a little bit more about this is the always insightful Lee Fong. Lee is with The Nation. Thanks for being on the show today, Lee.
Thanks for having me, Michael.
What are the Kochs complaining about? Things keep getting better for them, and this guy stays in the White House.
Well, as you mentioned, the Koch brothers, according to an estimate from Forbes, their wealth has more than doubled. And if you look at the Bloomberg billionaire list, it's increased even more. It depends on which list you look at. But the newsletter that you mentioned at the beginning of this segment, it's important because in 2009, that's the newsletter they used to basically broadcast their intent to go after Obama. It was in this newsletter 4 years ago that they said that Obama was coming to destroy liberty, and then in weeks after that, the Koch brothers outfit Americans for Prosperity went out and started organizing what became the Tea Party.
Yeah, and so, but that goes to it, Lee. I mean, I don't understand, like, what's their motivation? If things are going so well for them, why are they fighting this guy and this system, a system that has just brought them wealth? There's zero enforcement from this administration of the things that we want them to enforce. It seems like it's just a happy day for the Koch brothers. It seems that way every day, but it just, in terms of right now with this political climate.
Well, we live in a political system, unfortunately, that is governed basically by special interest groups. And this problem, of course, has only been accelerated by Citizens United. So the Koch brothers, for whatever motivation, they see our system as kind of a plaything. They can drop unlimited amounts of money and shape the world that we all live in. At the same time, they have said in previous media interviews that they would like to pass on this wealth to their kin. They do not want to see an estate tax at all. They'd like to see that rolled back. They want to fight these new EPA rules on coal emissions. They want to fight any prospect of tackling climate change. And in many ways, they've been winning on those fronts.
I love the way that they're fighting the estate tax. They're spending more money than they would probably have to spend in estate tax to fight the estate tax in the first place. So by spending, and this is me just guessing, but it certainly seems like it. So it just seems like they're spending to get rid of something that wouldn't be as bad as the spending itself. It just seems like it's poor business. And what else seems like poor business is the fact that they don't get the results that they're after, and they just keep spending and spending. But it looks like they might be taking another turn, or another tack in this race, because they are rumored to be interested in buying the Tribune Company. The Tribune Company, newspapers, television stations, a whole new way for them to spread their wealth and their influence. Multiple sources tell LA Weekly that Charles and David Koch, the infamous right-wing billionaire brothers, are considering an offer on either the Tribune Company newspaper group, which includes the LA Times, the Chicago Tribune, and the Baltimore Sun, or the entire Tribune Company, which includes more than 20 stations like WGN and KTLA Channel 5. Is this a scary prospect for the country, Lee?
Well, two issues here. Number one, this is bad for the LA Times because the LA Times has stood out as one of the best newspapers in the country investigating Koch Industries for their political and environmental misdeeds. They had a great story actually 2 years ago looking at their connections to the Energy and Commerce Committee. And number two, Charles Koch is kind of famous in the business world for being personally interactive with all of his investments, political and in business. We saw a scandal about a year ago where when Koch gave contributions to Florida State University, in turn, Florida State University's department that he funded had it run by research projects and new hires through Koch to have their approval to go forward. So there's a lot of reasons to suggest that if the Koch brothers do buy the LA Times, they might not respect the journalistic integrity of that paper.
And is that the way they operate? Is retribution part of their MO in general, historically?
Historically, it has been. Well, look, I mean, just in the last couple of months, after not being able to take out Barack Obama from the White House, Koch ordered a top-to-bottom review of all of these groups that he funds. And supposedly many of these nonprofits are nonpartisan. They've told the IRS that they don't engage in partisan politics. However, Charles Koch has said he's going to start firing people who didn't do a good enough job at defeating Barack Obama. So that kind of casts a doubt over the claims of nonpartisanship from all these other groups that are already under the control of the Koch brothers. Is he going to do that to the LA Times or these other newspapers? If he does buy the Tribune company, we don't know. But the evidence suggests that he does have kind of that streak going on.
Man, that would be great to have them tried in some way for violating campaign finance law because of what they're doing about firing workers. Lee Fung of The Nation, thanks for being on the Young Turks tonight. Really appreciate it. When we come back, we'll have a final thought.